Hi, we're students from IIIT Delhi in the third year of our undergrad program, and we're a part of the DHCS course this semester where we're working on TechTinder as our course project. I'll walk you through the introduction and motivation of our project. So first off, what does TechTinder do? So this is a mobile application which acts as a platform to connect students who have certain domain expertise with students who want help in certain domain. So this basically is a platform to facilitate more collaborative model of knowledge sharing, and which it basically bridges the gap between students who want to get their doubts clarified and the students who have an expertise in, say, a certain subject. The larger motivation of this project is to make learning more ubiquitous and to facilitate the sharing of knowledge via the interaction between students. Now, the main motivation behind doing this project is that the current existing platforms for technical knowledge sharing, like Stack Overflow, are firstly very generic. They're not very course specific. So let's say you have a HCI course, you cannot ask a doubt related specific to that course in Stack Overflow. Second, the motivation is that when students have doubts, they hesitate in approaching faculties or the teaching assistants to get their doubts clarified, and instead just satisfy themselves with some sort of an answer. So to facilitate more knowledge flow between people who have already taken the course or already have some expertise, to facilitate this kind of knowledge sharing, we thought we should come up with a platform. So now Abhinav will walk you through the final version of the app that we have as of now.
So this is the application that we've built. First of all, you can log in with Facebook. Once you do that, you're greeted by an ask screen where you can write the topic about the question that you would like to ask. So say the topic is machine learning. And then you click on ask. Then you write a one-line description about the question, say SVM, and then you click on find the mate. So now this is a Tinder-like interface where you can left swipe or right swipe a person if you'd like to ask them a question. So left swipe would mean that you would like to not ask this question from that person, and a right swipe would mean that you want to ask this question from that person. So say I now right swipe Shan Chopra, this question has now been sent to her. Once we do that, we can now also go to a profile section to check how our profile has been made. So here you can see that the badges that I've given to myself, which are machine learning and HCI, I can also add other topics that I'm interested in. Also, I can write a brief bio about myself, say like I'm a machine learning enthusiast. Now, when I go to if I scroll down, I can also actually see my student and teacher rating. My student rating is the rating that other teachers have given me, and a teacher rating is what other students have given to me. So when I go to the study request section, I can see all the people who have asked me questions. So say John Doe has asked me, I want to know how to implement BFS in Java. Say I'm not interested in this question. I just left swipe John Doe. Now Abhinav Khattar has asked me, I want to know how to get the loss function of dual SVM. Given that I like his question and I know the answer, I would like to right swipe him. So as you can see, a chat section opens where I can actually now chat with him. So I send a message. So this chat is real time and I can actually get any doubt clarified or anything from this chat section. I can go back to the profile section and log out of the application. So let's look at the steps that we took in order to end up at this application. We performed user studies and contextual inquiries to find out what people wanted from our application. And we realized that they wanted an informal learning platform that provided one-to-one doubt resolution and quick help. After we realized this, we started up with low fidelity prototyping.
We used phone screen cutouts to create the prototypes. We wanted the home screen to be as minimalistic as possible. Hence, only had a drop-down bar to search for topics and ask button to actually go and proceed and find the study mates. Once our first low fidelity prototype was complete, we performed task analysis. We divided the tasks We divided the tasks into 3 categories: easy, medium, and hard. The easy category could be logging into the application, medium could be viewing your profile or chatting with someone, whereas the hard one could be choosing or accepting a teacher or a study request. We analyzed this by making affinity diagrams in which we clubbed different kind of features and feedback and decided what must be implemented based on the task analysis and contextual inquiry conducted. In our second iteration, we incorporated changes that we got as feedback from the previous task analysis. These included things like having a more detailed profile screen in which the user would first go to his profile and then go to his bio. The second important change we made in this iteration was we removed the initial hamburger menu and concatenated all into one single menu at the bottom. The home button signifies the ask screen, the chat signifies the chat screen, the notification signifies study request that the person might have received, and the profile signifies the detailed profile of the user. We again performed task analysis and incorporated this feedback to come up with our third iteration. In our third iteration, we decided that we needed to improve upon the menu bar, the navigation bar that we gave at the bottom, as the one before wasn't intuitive to the users. So we redefined the icons and actually had a text written below them so that the user will understand what icon meant what. We also added an option of archive and current chats. And we also had added a one-line description about the question on the study request screen. The user could format the text or even send attachments when he or she asked the question. Now moving on to the high fidelity iteration.
After 3 iterations of our paper prototyping, we moved on to create high fidelity prototypes. To do so, we used proto.io. After making minute changes on our final low fidelity screens, we replicated those screens on proto.io. We also created a first draft of our logo. Once we had created all the screens, we added interactions between them. In our last final iteration of low fidelity prototype, we had used a blue color theme for our app. According to color theory, blue signified trust and stability. But after taking feedback from users, we decided to go with a pink/magenta color theme. Pink and magenta because they signified energy, urgency, and passion. Something which we wanted similar to Tinder. Once we had finalized our high fidelity prototype, we performed one iteration of task analysis before moving on to creating our final app. To create a final app, we use the Ionic platform. Ionic is a mobile-first development framework. We used Ionic since it provided us cross-platform support. So by creating just one application, we could import it to iOS, Android, as well as the Windows platform. All our backend data is stored on Firebase. While creating a final app, we changed the color theme to bright orange. So bright orange gives us a sense of importance and is also more lively and gender neutral than magenta. If you want to know more about the Ionic platform, you can visit ionicframework.com.
To conclude, during the design and evaluation of this app, we learned many concepts and important design paradigms. We realized the importance of empathy and the value of keeping the users in the loop at every point in the production stage. We also realized the importance of multiple iterations and how focus should initially be on the functionality and how functionality of how the app works, and later on we should move on the aesthetics, that is how things look, the color, and everything else. We oversaw the entire pipeline of the design pipeline of prototyping, evaluating, and building an application, like we have seen in the lecture slides. Prior to this course, if we were to build an application, let's say a web application or a mobile application, we would straight away begin with the coding of the UI elements, the backend, the database design. And later on, when we launched our product in the market, we realized that some part of the app was not the intended functionality, and we wanted to change it. It required a lot of time and a lot of efforts. This course taught us the importance of low fidelity prototyping and getting user feedback at each and every iteration. Not only does such a user feedback model allow for streamlined building, but it also allows for a better design, which can then be taken to a user and is more usable as well.